Srila Gurudev. Okay. Jai Srila Gurudev, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj. So good morning, good evening, and yes, good night almost to many of you, to some of you with us. Let us begin, and we do look forward to getting a little update from wherever the devotees are. And we've got Chintamani in Mayapur, probably. Yes, okay. Looks like she's in Mayapur. We've got from St. Petersburg, from Brazil, from Florida, from Detroit area, and we have from Italy also, and from the West Coast, and Paramananda Prabhu from Japan, probably today. All right, so this is where we're beginning, and if I can, I'll see if I can turn on Facebook. But for those of you who are on Facebook, on Zoom, and seeing the recorded version, to all of you, we feel like we are live with you. We are live with you. And we're here to share something of Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and their message of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, of God as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who came to give himself to the fallen souls. Our good fortune. All right, so Jai indeed to Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, to Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockok Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, to Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, and Jai to Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, and to the whole Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. Today I will have to leave a little earlier today, but you can continue without me if you wish, but you have me for the next 40 minutes, approximately, maybe 38, because I have some other duty to do, and today we'll be traveling. So I can begin by asking you, we began with auspicious invocation already, because to chant the glories and jais of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, Srila Saraswati Thakur, and our line is an auspicious invocation. And God is good. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. And we just lost Leela Moy Prabhu. Acha, how did that happen? He's our host, as far as I know. Maybe there's something in the chat box. Dana, Hare Krishna, Ganga Leela, California. Yes, I thought so. California, West Coast. And Narottam Nitai Prabhu. I met Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami. Huh? Today. He's here in Michigan. Oh, okay. Are you sure that's the right name? Bhakti Swarup Damodar. Anyhow, you met a Swami today. Very good. I hope the first time you saw him, you paid your obeisances to him. Either, at least by mind, that has to be there. As we've heard Srila Gurudev, not only heard Srila Gurudev directly saying, when we see sannyasi for the first time, the injunction is, we must give respect. Not necessarily bowing down on the street, as it were, all the time, but must give honor for the cloth, honor for the post, at least, to honor to the person. And yes, Narottam Nitai put a yes, and happy gestures. Very good. So I'm coming to you first to ask any questions of me, any questions to me. I'll check my English, better speak proper English.
Dandavad Maharaj, I have a small question.
Small question, okay?
No, actually, we just came from another Zoom on Bhagavad Gita that was started like 1 hour before. And
Good.
the topic was, yes, very enlivening and good. And there was a topic of sacrifice. So, like, what's the most noble sacrifice and so on. And I wanted to ask, what's like the biggest sacrifice you had to do in your life?
Hare Krishna. Join the Krishna consciousness movement. I mean, really, family, friends, everybody, except one, were very, very disapproving. But when we know something is the right thing to do, then we do it and we know it's right. But if you say consciously, like as a sacrifice like that, joining the mission and then continuing in that line, the first days and weeks, first days and weeks, hardest for sure. I was used to living with other people, because doing safaris, everything, your life is very public 24 hours a day, because we're camping and out in the open. But I wasn't used to living with other people with such habits of getting up early in the morning and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, in all sorts of different ways. And that was a challenging time, no doubt. But we knew means we knew, the royal we in English, I knew it was right. I mean, that was somehow clear within me. It was the right thing to do. And so at that time, then I'm always trying to think that, okay, Srila Prabhupada is not present, because remember, I missed having Srila Prabhupada's association. And it was really, that was a shock when I found out he'd passed away or disappeared. And anyway, we join into his mission, and I'm always thinking that what Srila Prabhupada wants of us as the recruited fallen souls. What does he want from us? What does he want from me? And he wants, at least at that time, we can definitely say and feel that, yes, he wanted us to cooperate with the mission that has been left behind, and with the servitors and the servitors of the servitors of the servitors of the servitors of the servitors, to be like that within the mission. But it was a bit of a challenge sometimes. So, I mean, if we say consciously sacrifice, then something like that. But I could give you a quote if I was, to say smart, efficient. I could give you a quote about sacrifice, which Nama Priya Devidasi could tell you already, if she has her microphone on and remembers what we've repeated 4 times yesterday and the day before. Yes, she's nodding her head. She's going to share with us the words, or the essence of the words, of Srila Gurudev.
Dandavat, good morning, good evening to everyone. And I'm not sure now about, but I think I know what Maharaj means. So the text was that we have to engage all of our senses and energy in service to Krishna. And in between, there was a sentence which I don't remember, but the end is that this is called Atmanivedanam.
Okay, so that is the essence, and a little more inside there. But what I will do, you've given me time to find the exact quote. So here we are with the exact quote. So, by the way, you do get breakfast, if there is breakfast somewhere today. You do get breakfast, because you got the right answer. But here we are. This is Srila Gurudev saying, we must engage all of our senses, our mind, and our full energy in Krishna's service. But before we can engage in any devotional activity, we must first surrender to the Lord. We must first offer ourselves over to the Lord internally. Or we must first offer ourselves over to the Lord internally. That is called Atma Nivedana, self-surrender. This is the first step in Sharanagati, as well as our first necessity in devotional life. So, what is our first step in Sharanagati? What is our first necessity in devotional life? There we are. This is what's been given here in these flowing words of Srila Gurudev. So well done. And we read this from the Revealed Truth, which is the morning reading, day by day here in Vilagovinda Ashram. Morning reading at the moment, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Revealed Truth. Priyananda Devidasi, what is your consciously greatest surrender that you've made in your life?
I think I'm still trying, Maharaj. And actually, I quite often remember the words that, like you said, and Goswami Maharaj said that, like Srila Govinda Maharaj, he said, I can tolerate like everyone because Guru Maharaj was so tolerant to me. And I remember, I remember your example when Srila Gurudev, like when he picked up the room near the generator because no one else wanted to live near the generator. And like he was doing so much sacrifice throughout all his life. And I think that's also the examples that inspire us as well. Yeah, something like this.
Right. The moral of the story, or the essence of this, the lesson of the story is correct. It's not quite that Gurudev picked out that room to stay. He already was staying there. And that's Acharya Bhavan in Navadip, just quite close to Guru Maharaj, just beside the hand pump well, which is full with Ganges water, etc. That Acharya Bhavan, he was already living there. That was his Bhajan Kuti. But where to put the generator, wherever the generator is going to go, is going to disturb somebody. And Gurudev, he solved the problem that, okay, but if it goes behind my house, it won't disturb anybody except me in this way. So it's the other way around. He was already living there and he chose the place for the generator and gave direction, instruction for where the generator will be. But yes, the essence of the story is correct, and just a little tweak of the story so that so when it's repeated the right way around. This is, yes, but many things we did. But yeah, many things we did. But lots of things we did automatically. And I remember, I mean, I don't want to point out India as being, very like a selfish place or something, but somehow or another, I mean, especially if you're driving and you're on the roads, somehow or another, there is a streak that says, well, if I have an opportunity, I'm going to take it first. So when there's a queue of traffic, then you go past all the queue of traffic and then you cut in somewhere. I mean, this is absolutely normal, which leads to great delays, by the way, because everyone does it. And so the road is jammed in both directions. For instance, when they open the railway gate, the level crossing and the gate closes, the train passes by. And on both sides of the railway crossing, everyone's come to the front. So it's like at the gate, it's like just a full row of vehicles in both directions. So when they open the gate, then it takes forever to everyone to get their way through. So anyway, one time there was a water shortage, and we needed to filter the water. This is in Vrindavan, at the Vrindavan temple, where you do have to filter the water. Unfortunately, now the groundwater where we are, if you drink it, it's not, I don't think it's drinkable, actually. I have tried, with not wanting to make any offense to the water, because it's the holy water of the Dham, but We need the water filter. But the electricity was off, and in the water container, which has been filtered, there was only a certain amount left. And I remember that I saw this, but I did need some water. But I took like just what I needed, half a bottle. And another devotee said, no, fill up your bottle. And I said, why? I need half a bottle. I just need what to drink now. And they said, oh, but it'll be gone. I said, yes, but others will need the water. And I just thought that was completely normal. And then, like one devotee, they were like stunned. And they said, oh. They actually said, well, that's why Srila Gurudev gave you the name Bhakti Ranjan, which I was, I was happy enough to hear, but it was just normal. So many things that we do, it may look, oh, I'm sacrificing for others or something, but it's by the grace of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. It's completely normal. It's what we should be doing, not looking for, oh, I'll get as much water as I can. And yes, okay, nobody else will get water. And especially in the temple where they're all devotees, you want to have facility for the devotees. Anyway, I just point out that we may do many things which are considered sacrifice, but they're not really sacrifice when it comes to what this is what we do. It's the nature of living with devotees. It's the nature of devotional life. We should not be putting ourselves at the center. And devotees are like this. Their nature is to help others. But according to where we associate, we get those qualities. The bankers, they all get together and they get the qualities of greed and power and all sorts of things. And even though they're completely ordinary human beings like the rest of us, but they are in that association and they learn the tricks of how to legally, increase their own profit, etc., etc. But if you mix with people who are good sportsmen, then you'll start to be enthusiastic to learn how to be a better sportsman. If you mix with this kind of person, that kind of person, and if you mix with devotees, then we would hope that would be in the environment where we automatically get those qualities of the devotees. But we have to surrender, and small things are our test. When we can do all the right small things, as we say, then the bigger questions that come up, they're more easily resolved because we're going in the right direction. And we can't go to Goloka Vrindavan if we have selfishness left. We have to be unselfish, but responsible, as we say repeatedly. See that everything is Krishna's, and we will utilize that. And utilize the devotees, and utilize our energy, utilize the tree's energy, all kinds of energy. Somebody a couple of days ago, not a devotee, so we are talking with somebody, and then just mentioned that today, after 2 days, today, oh, I'm going to go to Hungary. We're going to Hungary today. And how are you going? Oh, flying. Oh, so you have a big carbon footprint. A big carbon footprint. And then, okay, I understand, the ecologically persons then thinking, oh, so about everything as we need to reduce our carbon footprint or whatever it may be in the world. But then it came in, I didn't get into a big argument, at all. I kind of thought about it. And it is reported that, and I didn't hear it, I wasn't there, but we've heard that Srila Prabhupada got off the plane in a particular country, and when he came off the plane, then he made some comment at the reception when he was being received about how the aeroplane is a useless waste of energy. This whole aeroplane is a useless waste of energy, except that it is carrying the message of Mahaprabhu. Every other passenger on board, they're going for family duty, business duty, just for a holiday, for supposed enjoyment. But the plane carried Srila Prabhupada himself, and he, in his humility, saying that it's carrying the message of Mahaprabhu. So in that way, Yukta Vairagya is that we are utilizing everything for the Lord, and not that, oh, okay, so Srila Prabhupada should have got into a sailing boat which doesn't use any fuel. I bet there was fuel used to make it, but somebody could argue, oh, he should have sailed around the world on a sailing boat. But the point that is made throughout the whole of the scripture, the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam, the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, is that anything and everything you do is sinful in this world when it is not related to Krishna. So, I mean, the surrender is, and as Srila Gurudev pointed out just now, we have to offer ourselves internally. And so that try to ensure that everything we do is for the service of the Lord. Otherwise, just to utilize the facility of the street, to go down the street, and you're taking advantage of the destruction of age-old trees, of the habitat of animals, and all sorts of stuff. And because you're taking advantage of that, there is some reaction. That's just to go down the street and appreciate that, oh, it's an easy road to go down. What to speak of so many things. So in this world, we need to offer everything to Krishna, otherwise we're implicated. And we did mention, I think, on Back to Basics a couple of weeks ago, perhaps, like how the example of today, what is considered as surrender, when in the early days, really, it was, well, if you want to be a surrendered devotee, you need to join the temple. And it was good for me, I can say. My idea, certainly when I was, before I met the devotees, was that I'll continue doing what I'm doing and chant Hare Krishna as well. But the devotees were having none of that. So by their good influence, then we did join the temple. But to join the temple is a challenge, and all kinds of people around you at that time. At that time, there was a steady flow of people joining. So we were in a Bhakta course with other people. And you can say varied backgrounds. And we really did have to look at the good qualities of the persons then. And I remember there was one new person like me, and he'd come from the streets and he was in bad shape, but he could remember slokas. And I remember thinking how then, I mean, this is before, I mean, long before, just thinking that, I mean, long before we met Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, and their emphasis on seeing the good in others. But, I had to appreciate, okay, they've got some qualities I don't have. We were given shlokas to learn, and I was struggling like crazy with the simplest shloka. And there's this, I mean, he was damaged from the street. I mean, damaged from, how, sorry to say, people get damaged. Sorry, drugs damage people. We look at it, we see it. Then what can we say? And he was in quite a severe state of damage. But he could learn shlokas. So we have to, adjust to those who are around us in a favorable way. And Krishna was kind to give that opportunity to adjust to them. Because we come from the, the real world of working for a living and doing all sorts of things for some years. And so Things like this, if you ask about adjustment. Then, Priyanana?
Yes.
Yes, what?
What, Priyana? Yes, Maharaj, thank you very much. And yes, I'm just feeling still like influenced by the previous Zoom, like about what's the most noble sacrifice. And gradually we see that we come to this, like first you maybe sacrifice to people around you, then trying to get to the source, and then you get to like what's the highest, to whom you can sacrifice, and so on. And seeing an example helps. Thank you, Maharaj.
And being told what to do.
Yep.
It does take a little sacrifice of ego of being told what to do, and knowing that who's telling you what to do. It was only been here like 3 weeks before you, but there was a strong hierarchy of this kind of a thing.
Senior devotee.
Yeah, a senior devotee. I joined before you. You listen to me. You must do this. And that was very strong at that time. And Srila Prabhupada set it up for a reason. And he set up the whole system, and it was extremely successful to bring Krishna consciousness all over the world. He wasn't of the kind of, you can join the temple and, you don't want to do this, okay, then something else. We know that he gave the direction to the devotees. No, you do as I say, not what you want to do. This whole point that Srila Guru Maharaj first said to Srila Gurudev when he joined the temple, can you follow me and not your mind? So very much there's a lot of adjustment in that environment. And today, how it pans out is also difficult to say, because today, if you were to say, yes, join the temple, but oh no, sorry, no mobile phone, no television, no radio, and no mobile phone. That one is almost like taking away somebody's identity. What to speak of, give me your mobile phone. Hare Krishna. But I was so naive. By the way, I was so naive. Well, you can say whatever I was, but anyway, I was kind of naive. I really thought that the temples ran on the devotees surrendering and giving everything that they had, and giving their bank account. And this also, we did that. We did all these things, and we had a bank account. We didn't have no bank account. Anyway, I really thought that that was the way that the temples ran. And then we find out about the Lakshmi points and collections and so many things like this. But we never regretted giving giving. That's what we're meant to do. If we're coming to Guru, we're coming to surrender, then we're not meant to be keeping something for ourselves. And one devotee, older devotee, he said, oh no, everybody, when, how we go out on collection, means distributing back to Godhead, distributing books, etc., trying to at least. Then one devotee said, oh, you're foolish. Everyone keeps some percentage for themselves. And I just thought, that's not really good advice, I don't think. Then you come to understand that even in the community of devotees, you do need to try to keep the company of those really who are sincere and not, as Guru Maharaj says, cutting a return ticket. So we must try, but we must have our eyes open of where we are surrendering, where we are giving our energy. And of course, our energy, it's not measured in bank accounts, it's measured in our self-giving, surrendering ourselves internally.
Yes.
And here in Italy, by the way, there are so many monasteries, and where the monastery means there were monks there, which are now completely not monasteries, converted into all sorts of other things. And in UK, when we're there, we see so many churches which are now blocks of flats. It looks like a church on the outside, and on the inside, it's been, all that big space is being converted into flats. And we think that even, the tendency for surrender in this modern age is very limited. How did all those monasteries come? There must have been some sincerity for searching after reality. Monks, nuns, and we found nuns, and we found some monk, maybe priest. But in Italy, we were mentioning the other day, very few Italians. Basically, they're from Africa, people who've come from Africa, and they've come to Christianity, and they've come to just like give their life in the ashram. So we need the substance, and if the substance is there, what Mahaprabhu has given is so wonderful. Follow a daily routine of reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, reading Gurudev's books and Guru Maharaj's books. You can't help but understand that what Mahaprabhu gave is super wonderful. Then what should be the difficulty to give one's life to that direction? The prescription, we hear this again and again. Gurudev using that word prescription. Now I'm going to look up, I'm going to be faster than Seva Rupa and look up prescription in revealed truth. Prescription. Oh yes, this is what we read yesterday too. This is Uddhava's prescription for the conditioned souls to get relief from the illusory environment. And what was that prescription? I'll save you the Sanskrit, but the translation is, simply by maintaining ourselves with the garlands, fragrances, clothing, ornaments, and foods that have been offered to you, Krishna, we, your eternal servants, easily cross over your illusory environment. That's the verse from the 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Srila Gurudev says, this is Uddhava's prescription for the conditioned souls to get relief from the illusory environment. Our vision needs to be that anything we use in our life must be the Lord's remnants. If we honor everything in that way and always remember the glories of the Lord's remnants, then we will be enriched with a devotional mood and proceed happily in our spiritual life. Enjoyment in our spiritual life will always come to us through the Lord's remnants. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also said, Krishnera prasadan tri jagat kore dhanya tripurari nachi jahapai. Quote, the three worlds are made glorious by Krishna Prasad. Even Lord Shiva dances with great joy when he receives Krishna Prasad. And then, okay, one more line, a question and answer from Gurudev, rhetorical question. What should be our mood when we receive prasadam? What should be our mood when we receive prasadam? Answer, it is the great joy of our life. That should be our mood. The words of His Divine Grace, Srila Gurudev. And by the way, if anyone hasn't noticed, while reading through the book, there's a wonderful section about prasadam in Revealed Truth. Chapter 13, the best chapter of any book, because we're reading it at the moment. But it's so much encouragement in there. And again, how to lead our life. Selflessness. But it's not just selflessness, it's coming to the grace of the Lord in its many manifestations. Oh, chat. I see lots of things in the chat, but I've just got a few minutes left. Seva, Rupa, Govinda, reference from the Veda base. Arrival address at Bhaktivedanta Mana. Oh, okay. So this is Srila Prabhupada. Govinda Pantastu Koti Shata Vatsara Sampragamyaha. I think that's better. Those who are searching after God, ... Those who are not searching, they are useless. Okay, we need to hear Srila Prabhupada's voice in this. Those who are not searching, they are useless. Those who are searching, Jnani, Jigyasu, so they are searching after God. But if they try to approach God, Pantastu Koti Shata Vatsara, by ... Just like aeroplane, I have come here within 12 hours from Calcutta to London. So not this aeroplane, but Pantashtu Koti Shata Vatsara Sampradaya. Sampra? Vayoratapi Vayu. Anyways, reference from, yes, it's some kind of reference.
Kind of Atmara.
For
Sorry.
long quotes, you're given long quotes here. I'll have to copy and paste it. Oh my goodness, very long quotes. I hope Zoom will let me copy all this so I can read it in a short while when I'm traveling. Zoom seems to not like me copying things. It looks like it's copying, and then when I go to paste it, there's nothing there. Anyway.
I'll text it to you, Maharaj.
Yes, if you can. The whole thing, can you text all the chat?
Yes, I can. I can do it right now.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, and Chintamani Didi, we at the very beginning said, you're in Mayapur. We do want to hear something from you, but I have 1 minute and 40 seconds. Can you tell us something in a minute?
Jai Shri Mayapur Tam, Ki Jai. And Nityananda Ram is here too. He can give an update while I copy and paste and do my service for you, Maharaj. Dandavat.
What have you seen in Mayapur, Nityananda Ram Prabhu? But less than 1 minute, very brief. Microphone, oh dear, I can't lip read. Please click the microphone.
Hare Krishna, Dandava pranams to all the Vaishnavas.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Chintamani Devi. Well, Maharaj, here in Navadvip Dham, all the area, especially Mayapur, after a long time and now settled my life here, I feel that this is very auspicious place, very beautiful place. Following the direction of the personal style of Srila Siddhartha Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj about the love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and all the Mahaprabhu Lila, I think that this place is very auspicious to stay the most as possible. In my case, I awake every day and I feel me like in other world completely. Each thing you do, very simple thing, is amazing. When you can go, when you can put, how you say, Gurudeva say, work with your head in Mayapur Dham is so beautiful. The relationship with the devotees, especially the Dhambaki devotees, and the holy Dham itself, you know, because you go any place you hear have Rajpur, for example. Now we had the Ratha Yatra, and this day for Lord Jagannath are no different from Puri, beautiful history of Rajpur deities. Also, I live very close to Rajpur, 5 minutes by scooter. Also, you can go to Yoga Pit, to Chaitanya Mat, any temple within 5-10 minutes. and you can do parikrama all time you want. Even Eastern Temple is very inspirational. The energy of the devotee here is the vibe is so great. The Prabhupada make a beautiful place where everybody can stay. Now Mayapur is developing too much. They are making new place to stay, and many devotees are coming to live here. In my case, well, it's my retirement plan to stay in Mayapur with my wife. I now coming back to Colombia to pick up her. Definitely, we finished the project. Maharaj know about the project we are doing here, the Trimurti project. The house is ready. Was a big challenge to build a house in Mayapur. Was amazing experience. So nice. Well, now I'm living there in the house. I hope when I come back to Mayapur, start the project or giving that relationship to between Srila Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, that beautiful history to all the devotees. I have been talking with many devotees, and they are very happy to know that this opportunity to read the books and to have the sadhana and also the bhajans of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Maharaj here in Mayapur will be available. So, well, this is happiness, only happiness. The holy dance. I live nearby the Jalangi River, only 100 meters. Some can take very easily the darshan of the Jalangi River, that is no different to the Ganga. So I only wait for all of you to come to Mayapur. It's so nice, so beautiful. It's so special. The mercy of the Lord here is you can feel every day, you can taste every day in any aspect of your life. Yeah, Dandava Pranam.
Right. 24 hours a day, remembrance of the Lord, even the sounds of the birds, the sounds that go on around. And I remember distinctively remember being in Navadip and on the roof of the guest house in the evening. So many times we're on the roof because it's the coolest place to be. But anytime, 2 a.m., if you wake up at 2 a.m., you can hear someone somewhere on the mridanga, just sweetly chanting the name of the, not over loudspeakers and things. I mean, on a regular time, regular day, somebody somewhere is chanting. And again, a big reminder.
You know something very special? You asked me about that. Here, everybody is chanting Hare Krishna. The Amazon guy who comes, Hare Krishna devotee, who made the reparation of your house, Hare Krishna. It's so special when you hear everybody chanting Hare Krishna. I don't know. It's something new for me. In my country, never do that. I think not many countries that you find everybody chanting Hare Krishna. So that's so special. You really become to feel that you are in the land of Mahaprabhu easily. And it's different for me, especially for me, very different than Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is too much difficult to live there. I was thinking to go there also, but following Gurudeva's decision and advisement, I took shelter of Mahaprabhu here in Navadvip Dam because it's more easy for a sinner person like me, very fall down soul from this platform can grow up. So I'm very happy. And with Shintamani Didi that she also decided to stay here. We are very happy in Mayapur Dam. I hope you can come anytime. All the Vaishnavas are invited to come.
Jai. Okay, Prabhu, many thanks, and many thanks for the touch. You are speaking from Mayapur. That's also giving us some touch of Mayapur by your being there. And we're very happy that that environment is continuing steadily with all the temples and devotees and kirtan and association. Okay, I need to go, dear devotees. So Narottam Nitai Prabhu also has a question, but yes, we'll keep that over to next time. And I think Leela Moy Prabhu is probably keeping that safe and sound for next time. I do need to go. Please excuse. And Paramananda Prabhu is here. You can kindly continue, and I can invite Paramananda Prabhu just to continue on the theme of what theme is back to basics. But I can bow out, and I'll be happy to hear the recording later of what I miss. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, and our whole Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki Jai, Sri Navadip Dham ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mata ki Jai, and Jai Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, all the assembled devotees ki Jai, and Shri Chaitanya Saraswatacharya Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Bon voyage.
Merci beaucoup. We see you all. Not
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Grazie mille. Okay, dear devotees, my obeisances to you all, and we'll speak again. We'll be with you on Sunday. Probably be speaking quietly on Sunday because we'll have lots of other devotees around us. Okay, but we'll be there is our prediction and hope to be with you. Hare Krishna. Ami Ashchi.
So, Paramananda Prabhu, maybe you can share with us the secrets of how to sacrifice our life, our soul, our inner self to Gurudev.
No secrets, Nilamoy. But I was just thinking, that personality who mentioned to Maharaj that he's going to leave a big footprint, carbon footprint, was he walking there? I'm just curious. That would be the smallest carbon footprint you can leave, then you can say something. On the sacrifice, while Maharaj was talking, I was actually thinking all this time, how relative is this term sacrifice when it comes to Krishna consciousness? I mean, he mentioned that his biggest sacrifice was to join Krishna consciousness. But knowing Maharaj's history, he joined very happily. He was actually searching for Krishna consciousness after reading the science of self-realization. Really, that was it for him. So what did he sacrifice, or what all of us sacrificed? Because we've been looking and searching for happiness, for beauty. And in the association of the devotees, we found it. So again, from the relative point of view, there is no sacrifice on our side. We're looking for enjoyment, but of a highest level. And that's what Srila Prabhupada says, which was quite a little bit shocking, because we thought, oh, Krishna consciousness, you must do some sort of tapasya, you must leave absolutely everything behind, you give your bank account to, I don't know whom, to temple president, I don't know, it wasn't in our case. But we certainly give ourselves, our serving energy to that. But actually not happily coming to Krishna consciousness. So again, so where is that, relative sacrifices in there? I mean, there's practically none. So we're finding more happiness, more beauty, more satisfaction, more joy, more enjoyment in Krishna consciousness. So I was mentioning Srila Prabhupada, who said Krishna consciousness is to simply enjoy. And then he quotes Srila Govinda Maharaj, who is saying that we are to enjoy, following the advice of Uddhava, with the remnants of the Lord, by his grace, always remembering how wonderful he is and how graceful he is to us. So this is our situation. So I did not make any sacrifices in my life. I thought maybe in the beginning, when Maharaj said, when I just joined, I thought, oh, maybe I did. And that would be taking a bath on the first day with the -30 plus, actually, not just -30, it was -30 something, outside in the open air enclosure with a bucket of cold water. That was my initiation into joining the temple. So I thought maybe I should give this example. But no, because a week later I got used to it and I actually enjoyed it a lot. And I have to say, it's very good for your health, by the way. And when it's -30 outside and you pour water and the water is not frozen yet, the difference in temperature makes it feel real warm. So even there, I couldn't find any traces of sacrifice. So Lila Moy, I have no secrets because I did not make any sacrifices. And also a good thing Maharaj was pointing out, is that absolutely everything must be used in Krishna consciousness. And really, this is coming. We're the Rupa Nuga. We call ourselves Rupa Nuga. Have anyone thought more carefully about what it means? Because there's so many things that come to us from Srila Rupa Goswami, who is actually transmitting whatever Mahaprabhu brought to us. So that what we're receiving from Rupa Goswami. And one of these basic principles, really basic principles, is these two verses. Anasaktasya vishayanga yartha upayunjitaha nirbandha Krishna sambandha yuktam vairagyam uchite. Prapanchikataya budhir hari sambandha vastuna mumukshubhir parityago vairagyam palgu kalpate. So the basics of Krishna consciousness. And in short, he is saying, whatever is there at your disposal, meant exclusively for Krishna consciousness, for serving Krishna. Whatever there is in the world, in the whole known material creation, is also exclusively meant for his satisfaction. And thinking otherwise will be a phalgu vairagya, or a false renunciation. And it's foolish to think you can renounce anything because you don't possess anything. You're in a realm of illusion. You have no possession that are your own. It's another form of illusion, thinking this is my, me, I. We all know that. So again, there is no sacrifice. You have nothing to sacrifice except yourself, giving yourself. But you're giving yourself willingly and happily. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's pulling your leg to do that. You're just happily joining that. And Priyananda was saying that they discussed earlier the most noble sacrifice. And consistently from our Guru Marga, we're hearing that the most noble sacrifice, and it is in the verse actually, Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangasta Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumetasa. The most noble sacrifice there is to join Sankirtan Yaga, to chant the holy name of the Lord. But what is the result of that sacrifice? Again, Anandam Buddhi Vartanam Pratipadam. On every step, you will feel unlimited Anandam, unlimited bliss. So you see how relative it is, the theme of sacrifice. That's pretty much all I can say at the moment on that theme. I mean, if someone have any questions, then oh, Naratam Nimai, his question is actually very good. Naratam Nitai, sorry. Keep mistaking. Like Maharaj said, before we thought that joining the temple was the sacrifice. That was the thing to do. If Prabhu, you want to surrender, did you want to surrender, you join the temple. That was the general understanding. Like I would say maybe 20 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago. And that's what everybody was trying to do. I want to join the temple. I want to give myself fully to Krishna consciousness. And for that, I have to join the temple. Actually, it's quite different. And we hear from Srila Govinda Maharaj how he would encourage and able devotees, talented devotees, to continue with their duties outside of the temple, to continue with their engagement, either business engagement or career engagement, and become, not just continue, but he wanted those devotees to become very successful in what they're doing. Because staying in the temple, for example, who is someone who is very capable, I'm willing to sacrifice myself, I'm joining the temple, I'm going to ring the bell, I'm going to sweep the floor, on which Govinda Maharaj said, everyone can ring the bell, everyone can sweep the floor, very few can serve. That was his vision. If something comes to you, you have that talent, you have that facility, keep it no matter what, and continue being successful, become successful, and use the results in Krishna consciousness. And that is Yukta Vairagya. Joining the temple in this case, and I'm not generalizing here, I mean, it's case by case, no doubt. But quite often, joining the temple with this kind of consciousness is Phalgu Vairagya, or false renunciation. It will not bring any good result. You're just going to be there, sitting in the temple, knowing that there's a program, there's prasadam. The most important, the program, forget the program, never mind. You can tolerate it, but prasadam time must be sharp. And I remember how I would get disturbed if it was delayed. I wouldn't get disturbed if Mangal Arati was delayed, or Gaur Arati, I mean, Sandhya Arati would be delayed, or any other function. But prasadam delayed, oh, I was very disturbed. So again, another consideration to give. So stay where you are, become successful in that environment, and use the facilities that come to you, the energy that comes to you in Krishna consciousness. And again, sometimes devotees think, oh, I got this money and I'm just going to give it all. But part of the service is also to maintain your life, you maintain your body, maintain your living facilities, not to forget about that. A good example is Sanatana. I mean, it's an extreme example, and we're not going to copy that or imitate that, but Sanatana Goswami, I mean, he's redistributing his wealth. Of course, in the end, he gives everything away completely because that was Mahaprabhu's desire, but we have to consider that we're not Sanatana Goswami. So keep something for yourself to maintain your family, your children, your relatives, your friends, temples, centers, devotees, but do it wisely. Do not encourage something that will bring disaster to those people you're trying to help to. And sometimes it's often the case. So we have to really consider it carefully. Srila Govinda Maharaj pointed out in so many occasions that if we are to do charity, we have to consider, will that charity produce devotion or help that person in the path of devotion or not? And if not, do not do that. It will create karma. And even more so, you will be entangled in this material illusory environment. And you may think, oh, I'm helping a devotee, but what kind of help? What kind of a devotee? What does he want to? All of that is have to be considered. Anyway, it's a very wide subject. No secrets. Not keeping anything in the back pocket. Oh, there is Narottam. Nice to see you, Prabhu. So whatever you do, become successful.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for saying all that, because it's a lot of times it's about staying where we are and doing devotional service from where we are, in the sense of in life. We have the various ashramas that we go through, but it's also about just not everybody is of the caliber of the six Goswamis or anyone like great devotees, too, and in that. So yeah, definitely, I understand. So yeah, it makes sense.
I was very happy that in my lifetime I met someone who is the caliber of six Goswami, and that was Srila Govinda Maharaj. Really, he was. And I hope you can delete it, Lila Moy. I don't want Maharaj to hear that. It will make him very angry. But I will just be very careful here, but I can say that he is strictly following in the footsteps of Srila Guru Maharaj, whom I haven't met, but I met him through Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj. And that makes him a very exalted person. I'm not going to throw all those big words now because I will get myself in trouble. But he is there, and he's giving that wonderful example when he's feeling just a half of just exactly what he needs to take. Is a good example. And that reminded me about that verse. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Atayeva Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siti Kami Sakale Ashanta. Srila Govinda Maharaj would quote it often. He said, Krishna Bhakta is Nishkam. He has no other desires but to serve to Krishna. Zero desires. He will take only what is necessary at that very moment to maintain his body and the soul together so that he can continue serving Krishna. And he is not thinking ahead. Oh, I should fill the whole bottle because God knows when I'm going to, see more water on my way. And he is thinking, yes, God knows. So he's not going to leave me in a dire situation. So that's why he's taking only what is necessary at that moment, thinking about others. And who are the others? They're devotees of the Lord. So think about consciousness of such a person. And we have a good fortune to have his association right now. And our only problem is that there's a tendency, and no matter how hard you fight that tendency, it's still there. And the tendency is to take things for granted, to take the association of such devotees for granted, to take actually association of each of us for granted. And we have to fight it back and see the devotion in everybody's heart. And then we will get so much benefit. Otherwise, it will not be so beneficial. And in some instances, even will produce the opposite result, because we may commit some aparat, some offense, by being too familiar or taking things for too much for granted. So to remember that, a wonderful example, living example of Vaishnava we have. And there are more Vaishnavas, no doubt. The real Vaishnava is not trying to promote himself. They're revealed by the grace of the Lord, illuminated by his light. So this is our happy and joyful situation. So again, where's the sacrifice? On Ekadashi, maybe. You're like, that's a mystical day. Oh, maybe, yes, that's a good example. There is the sacrifice, because normally we get used to some quality of prasadam and some quantity of prasadam. And Ekadashi is the only day where we have to reduce that. Here we found sacrifice. But again, if you're a devotee, even on Ekadashi, you will think how much joy there is to limit my own tendency of enjoying today and join Srimati Radharani's group, join Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari group, and to assist them in the service to Krishna, because he is feeling even more necessity for enjoyment on that day. So this is why we're fasting on the Ekadashi. So even that sacrifice is actually a joy for a devotee. But for me, it's still a tapasya. And the day before, you may be eating grains, you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to take rice today, I'm not going to take bread today, I'm not in the mood. But during that very day of Ekadashi, suddenly you're craving so much for all those things you're not really dependent on the day before. Anyway, Dandavats.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
So now you can
Jai
conclude.
Jai Shri Bhakti Ranjan Matsur Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Rakshakshida Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Rupanuga Gurvag ki Jai, Namachar Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Shri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, all Sima devotees ki Jai, Rama Sankirtan ki Jai, Shri Paramananda Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Tagore Paramanande Hari Hari, Pataru Vesha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Dandavats.
Alhamdulillah.